Hello everyone. So welcome back to the Django ORM Part 3 video. This video is going to be a very special video over here because here we are going to learn some of the way in which Django can be very optimized over here. In this video, we are going to take some different approach. In this video, we'll be taking some case study like some query statements, and we are going to understand like what is not optimized, how you can optimize, and how you can more optimize kind of a thing. Okay, so let's do the normal import and let's see the model over here. It's the same thing. Okay, in this part we are in this in this video we are going to see what is select related, what is prefix related, update field, and F part over here. There are different things. And let's start with the select related over here. So what does select related mean and why do we need it? So first, let's understand like without select related how you can work. So for example, we want author name of blog having ID equal to 1. So what we'll do blog the object dot get. We got the object over here. Then we'll do blog object dot author dot name, and we'll get the author name over here. So what you can see over here, we are firing two queries over here. First query to get the blog name over here. Second query to get the author name over here. But the optimized way is we can use this select underscore related. What does this select underscore related do? Select underscore related check all the foreign key inside the model. So blog model has the one foreign key like author, but it has multiple. It will check all the foreign keys over there, and according to foreign key, it already when you fire it, it gets the data beforehand only. So as you can see over here, it got the data first only. It maybe look bigger, but it is a way more optimized than this part over here because it get all the data beforehand and store it over there. So it never goes again and get the data. So as you can see in the single query, we are getting the same result over here. Let's see the second case over here. We want to get all the author's name whose blog take time to read more than 50 minutes. Okay, we want all the author names who have written the blog, whose blog length to read is more than 50 minutes. So what is the not optimized way? What we'll do? We'll do blog dot objects dot filter time to read is greater than 50. Okay, we got the all the query set over here. Now from the query set, we'll get the all the author name over here. So as you can see, if we fire this thing over here, first we'll get all the blog part over there. Then we'll get the data for each and every author. Then we'll hit each and every author and get the name from there. So as you can see, we are firing the six queries over here. Okay, but in part of the select related, we are only firing a single query over here. Because what does the query select and related do? It checks the block, goes over there, find the foreign key, and get all the data over there. So what it do? How we can write it? Log dot object of filter. Time to read underscore so greater than 50. We are getting five part over five top five only, and select it in the foreign key. This is the foreign key name over here. If I must not mention it, this is the foreign key name over here, field name. And now when we loop it over, we are getting the data from the cache data over there. This is the optimization. This is how the select underscore related work over here. So as the now I'll state the opposite statement. One uses select related when the object that you are going to be selecting is single object. This is work to one field and the foreign field. Foreign key. Now what if you want to do the reverse foreign key? For example, now what if you want to get the data from the like author? From author, you want to get the blog data. So over there, we use the prefix related. Prefix related is used when you want to use many to many field, when you have many to many field, and when you want to do reverse foreign key. Okay. So for example, we want top 10 blog of author having ID equal to 1. So what we would do initially, we would do like author object dot get. Okay. Then we would get all the block query. Then we would run the query over there. So as you can see in this, we are firing three queries over here. Okay, one query to get the author, then to get all the block, and then to get the query sets out from there. In the prefix related, what is prefix related to? In the same way, like how does this select underscore related work? It's go and check the foreign key and get all the data. Prefix related do the same thing in the author. It will go and check do the reverse foreign key and check does it has the child over there and get the child in the one query over there. So as you can see in the optimized way, we are only firing two queries over there. Okay, this is how the prefix related and serial related work. Now next we'll move in update underscore field. So we might have seen that. So for example, if you want to change the tagline for the blog having ID 5, so what we'll do? We get the blog, then we'll change the tagline, then we'll use the save part over here. So what it will do? It will fire two queries. First to get the blog, then to save it. Okay, but as you can see over here in the save part over here, we are saving the name, we are saving the author ID, we are saving the time to read, we are saving the tagline, we are saving the creation date, we are saving the publication date. Why do we need to save this part? But we just want to change the tagline. Why are we saving all this part over here? For that, we have awareness to field. It only saves that tagline. It only saves that column which need to be saved, which need to be changed. So as you can see over here, log we are getting query over here, then we are changing a tagline, then we are saving only the tagline over here. So we got the blog, then we updated it to this part. Okay, this is the optimized way. There is one more optimized way over here. So when we are getting the data, we are getting all the data like IDs, we are getting name, we are getting author ID, time period, and everything we are getting. But we know that we only want to change the tagline. Then why are we getting all the part over here? As we studied in the previous video, only part over here, we will only get the tagline, we will change the tagline. So as you can see, the query got shorter and more faster. We are only getting the tagline and then we are only changing the tagline over here. This is how the update underscore field work, and this is way more efficient than updating all the part over here. Imagine a column model having so many columns over there. So instead of updating all the columns, we were only updating the that column that is necessary over there. Okay, the F part. This is like I can't exaggerate how important this F function is over here because this solve multiple problems, and I'll tell you what are kind of problems and how does it solve over there. So for example, let's consider one case: increase age of author having ID equal to 1 by 1. So traditionally, what we would do, we would get an author, okay, then we would increase age by 1, and then we would save it. Okay, this is how it would work. See, we are getting the author, then we are building it part over here. In the F part also, like if you run the query, it is running the two query. Then you might ask, how does it optimizing it part over here? Now I'll explain you this with the kind of a diagram over there. Okay, so for example, like in traditionally, what we do, we get the data, like we get the instance. Okay, then using the instance, we increase the age, like plus equal 1. We increase the age over here. Then we do object dot save. Okay, we'll do this part. So what is happening in this part over here? So when we are calling the object model, okay, so for now let's forget the caching part over here. Okay, so what is happening over here? When we do the object, we are getting the data from the database. We are increasing the age by 1 in our system. Please note this part. We are changing the age is in our system, and then we are saving the data and saving it in the database. So over here, two queries happen. First, to get the data. Now this is a computation that we are doing over here, and this to save the data. Okay, but what does the F function do over here? F function get the object, save the entry directly to the database, and not bringing the data into our system. I'll repeat it again. Save the data directly into the database and not bringing into our system. You might like I will go to over here. You might see two query will filed over here, but this query is working inside the database over here. As you can see the difference. Age we are written over here 115, and over here as you can see the age is author dot age plus 1. This is how it works. And one more very important thing this work is it avoids the race condition. Now I'll explain to you like what is race condition. This is a very important concept for the SQL part over here, especially if you are working in a financial domain, finance domain. So what is race condition? So let's say for example, there is one man, okay, who has balance of 100, who has a balance of 100 in his bank, okay, and like what he do is like for example, let's say he has two debit card of the same bank, like one for himself, okay, and one for let's say his wife. Okay, now he has a 100 rupees in the bank. Okay, so what he do, like at the same time, okay, at the same time what he do at the same time, like he is in somewhere else and the wife is somewhere else. At the same time he'll go to the ATM, and the wife is also going to the ATM. Okay, now he does the trade, like this thing is happening at the same time, exact same time. Okay, so he will go, and as you can see he has a 100 rupees in the bank. He will debit it, and the 100 rupees will get to the zero. Okay, now what will happen, like how does the query will work over here? Okay, this is the data that we are getting from the database, like whenever this is firing object a equal to 100. Okay, now what will happen, like debit kind of a thing. So like a dot balance, Now balance will get minus 1 second. No? Now balance will get minus of 100. Okay. So now we are balancing the minus of 100 and then we are saving it. So now what is happening over here? So now whenever a guy is going to the database and deleting it and debiting his credit, so it is getting the data. Now this thing is happening into the system. This thing is happening into the system. So this thing is happening in the system. While this thing is happening in the system, the wife is going to the ATM, okay, and she is also debiting the data. She is also debiting the balance. But the balance has already been zero, but it has not reflected into the system. So it will show into the system that there is some money into the bank, so she can debit. But there is actually no money because the guy has already debited it. But this is happening at the same time, so this is a failure. So this is where race condition happens. He is trying to change, she is trying to debit kind of a thing, and both are trying to hit the same entry. This is the same entry that both are trying to entry. Yeah. So how to avoid it? So to avoid it, we lock the row. So whenever someone is trying to change that row, we lock that row. And this is where the F conditions come over here. F condition internally, whenever they try to change the data, internally lock the data. So that no one can access it whenever at what time is changing. This is how the rest F help us to change the data, avoid the rest condition. Okay, so yeah. So apart from this, there is one more way optimized method over here. As you can see, what we are doing, we were trying to get the data and we were going to change it. But instead of this, we can just get the data. We can update it with the age of +1. So in a single query, we can go and change the data directly into the database. This is how the F works. So like one more example we'll take. Like in the bizarre world, take an example. If you want all the block whose time to read is less than, I forgot less over here, whose time to read is less than author age. Okay. So what we'll do in the not optimized way, we'll get all the blocks. Okay, we are taking the top 8, but we'll get all the blocks and we'll check if the time to read is less than object or author age. And we'll get only the data over here from the top 8 part over here. As you can see, we are firing 8 queries over here to get the data. But using the F expression over here, what we can do, we can just go into the block object filter and we can directly compare two columns. Over here, what we need to do, over here, we need to get the both. First, we need to get the object, then we can compare it. But using F expression, we can directly compare into the database. We don't need to bring it over here. So we are directly comparing into the database. The time to read is less than f.h. Then we are getting the data over here. As you can see, we are getting firing the one single query and the 5 query to get the data instead of 8 query. And you will be asking like you are over here you're doing 8 query, over here you're doing the 5 query. This is because over here I have some manipulated it and first I was checking it. First I did the 5 over here, we're getting a 3 query. Because from the top 5, only the 3 match the criteria. From the top 7, only 4 match the criteria, and from the top 8, only 5 match the criteria. That is the 8 queries been getting fired over here, out of which we are printing only 5 because they are matching the criteria. But instead of that, if we use the F query, so this does the operation from the database itself directly. So if when we write 5 over here, we are guaranteed to get the file result if it exists, if it exists. That's the reason we are getting firing the 5 queries over here. And the more optimized way of doing this part, instead of firing 6 data only from firing single query you can get this data. So as we have learned select related right now, so what is happening over here? Blog.object filter, time to read the data. So we are getting the author age, and we are adding this select related. So what does this select related do? It goes into the table, find the foreign key, and get the data beforehand. Yeah, we get the data beforehand, and now we have all the data do the manipulation. So only a single query we are getting the data over. So this is how the complex query can get, and more complex query can get. So if you want another part of this series, if you want another part of the series where I explain the more and more optimized query how we can write over here and into this normal bizarre way of paste it and everything, please write this into the comments. So I'll do the another video, part 4 of the video, where I'll be explaining more and more complex query how to write them in Django ORM in the most optimized way. I hope you learn something new from this Django ORM part series. There is a part one, part two, and part three. I have found different part of the three, different part of the things over there. If you want part four, let me know. Okay. So I hope you learned something new. Please share it with your friends who are trying to learn Django ORM, who are not optimizing their query. Please subscribe to the channel. It motivates me a lot to make this video for you. We'll meet in the next video. Till then, take care.